Hi, CF Liu here. Now, as an independent licensed financial advisor in Malaysia, I'm here to teach you about how to claim or maximize your income tax relief in Malaysia. In this first lesson, now I really want to tell you why it's so important to take care to really scrutinize your tax relief. And just imagine, right? The tax relief, the higher is your income, the higher the amount of tax that you need to pay. So the tax relief might not be the savings in terms of the tax payable to Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri or Inland Revenue Board might not be so significant if you earn like 30, 40, 50,000 a year and you are in a personal income tax bracket of 10%. But you know that if your annual income is already in the six-figure mark, and when I say six-figure, the minimum is 100,000, you know that you are automatically in the highest, well, not the highest, but almost at the highest personal income tax bracket, which is at 24%. Now, this is I want you to really internalize how much savings that you are able to get legally by paying less tax just by maximizing your tax relief. Imagine there are two scenarios. One is that if you maximize your personal income tax relief, you actually end up paying less tax. Or for most cases, if you are an employee, you're working for a company, and most of the time in a lot of multinational companies, they almost always overpay your personal income tax, which ends up when you do file your personal income tax in the following year, you would get some kind of tax refund. So I want you to think on the concept is that if you actually maximize or claim whatever you are eligible to claim properly and appropriately with the right evidence or all that for your personal income tax relief, you could actually get more tax refund back from Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. And today, Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, I think they are very efficient. If you file your tax early, they are very efficient in processing your tax refund. But just how much are you getting the tax in terms of the tax refund? Now, I want you to think about. Imagine if you are you just claim 10,000 on that tax filing year, 10,000 of tax relief. Now, 10,000 of tax relief is almost like not claiming everything because some of those tax relief are available when you do your electronic e-filing for Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. Well, it's actually personal relief is already like 9,000. So when I say 10,000, really you are almost like not claiming for any tax relief at all. So imagine you do not maximize your personal income tax relief and is only at 10,000. Now imagine if you were to actually increase and you have evidence and you claim more tax relief to the extent of 14,000. So it's just a 4,000 more, right? 4,000 more compared to 10,000, so you got 14,000 of tax relief. Now, assuming that you are in a tax bracket of 24%. Now, 24% is just like, like about 100%, so it's 1/4, right? 1/4, 25%, just put an estimation. So if your tax relief increased by 4,000 in the absolute amount that you are paying less tax by, you take like 24% multiplied by 4,000. So in the absolute amount, you're actually paying 1,000 less. Just like easy money, just like that, like low-hanging fruit, easy peasy. Now in terms of tax refund, so instead of getting, let's say, 500 of tax refund, so your tax refund will actually shoot up from 500 to 1,500, so 1,000 more. Of course, if you are in a lower kind of personal income tax bracket and you are just like in a 10% kind of personal income tax bracket, that 1,000, right? That 4,000 kind of extra tax relief that you claim, in absolute amount, your tax savings would only be, let's say, 10% out of your 4,000. So that is really not that much, which is about 400, but still it's like easy money, right? So I want you to think on this concept. It's just a very simple, mathematical calculation you can run in your head. And for a lot of working people, tax relief is probably the only portion you can actually legally pay less tax, and that is as easy as that. Now, moving on, I really also want to talk about number 2, like a lot of people when it comes to tax deductions, and they get confused about this term tax relief versus tax rebate. Now you know that how this is really calculated. Now let's talk about tax relief. Tax relief is calculated as your total income. Just for it is not a tax kind of a political correct way to put it, but I would just say like total income, including your business, your salary, and all that, and you actually deduct, right? Actually deduct your tax relief, and then you would have what I call as deduct everything tax relief. You have what we call as our chargeable income. So that income would be referred to the personal income tax bracket, and it will be calculated based on what are the absolute final amount that you need to pay. So that is what we call as a tax relief, right? It does not reduce your absolute income tax that you need to pay, but before you come to that, it actually reduce your total income which is subject to tax, right? So that is what it means. When it comes to tax rebate, now tax rebate is much more powerful, because tax rebate is an amount, assuming you are eligible for it, is an amount whereby it is directly deducted from the computed tax payable, or the tax amount that you are supposed to pay. Now for example, using back the same analogy, you have your total income, you deduct your tax relief and all that. So your total income minus all the tax relief you're eligible for, you have something like your chargeable income, and then you compute based on your income tax bracket what is the absolute amount of income tax you need to pay, and then that amount, okay, supposedly you need to pay that amount, but if you are eligible for some form of tax rebate, you know that tax rebate of, let's say, 400 ringgit would be deducted against what we call is supposedly the final tax payable. So tax rebate is actually more powerful, and it reduces your final tax payable on the absolute amount, but it's really there are very little chances, opportunity for you to actually get that kind of tax rebate anywhere in the world, like especially not in Malaysia. You can get very less of that, so really not that much, unless you are like earning less than 35,000 a year or something like that, so you'll be subject to additional tax rebate. Other than that, if you're a high income earner, it's very, very hard to actually, there's no opportunity for you to actually get a decent amount of tax rebate. Now the other thing that I want to talk about is these two terms, you don't be confused about tax avoidance and also tax evasion. Now obviously you say that I want to avoid paying tax. Now that is a good thing, because avoid paying tax is a totally legal way to pay less tax from in the eyes of lembaga hasil dalam negeri, right? So tax avoidance is basically good. Tax evasion is bad. Tax evasion is you are purposefully with a evil intention, to not pay tax or pay less tax by under declaring your income, or not declaring your income at all, or you are actually over claiming for tax relief or tax rebate you are not eligible for, which result in you having to pay no or even less tax. No, that is tax evasion. So no, you don't want to do tax evasion. That is really, really bad. Or they sometimes when they or cross-border tax evasion, that is what they mean. They want to avoid from paying tax the non-legal way, that is called tax evasion. But tax avoidance is perfectly legal. That is a accounting way or financial planning way to legally pay less income tax in Malaysia. So that being said, I hope you really get a lot of value from this tax lesson. I have a few lessons in this tax series that will really help you when you file your Malaysian income tax every year. So if you really find value in this video, click like and subscribe, and let me know what you think or what you feel in the comment section below. Now please stay on this video, because we have a few tax relief video where I really go detail into each category of tax relief and how you could actually maximize that. So proceed to the next lesson for Malaysian income tax relief, And if investing is your kind of thing, I also have another lesson for you in this channel. So investment that pays the best consistent dividends at a return rate that is even matching or even better than our EPF investment rate, return rate, whether in Malaysia or somewhere in overseas. There's one asset class that does not really deliver that kind of consistent return, matching EPF, and does not really require you the constant monitoring of like stocks or day trading, and you don't have, without the effort and the hassle or the huge capital required for property in traditional property investing. Now you definitely also want to check out this video, which will be coming up here, somewhere here. So if investing is your thing, now I'm telling you this because you probably don't want to miss this lesson, because it is one of the most popular lesson in our YouTube channel, this CFU YouTube channel. So that being said, I'll see you in the next lesson.